about Solo Pack Nation? It is Pack here. In today's video, as you guys know, I have been extremely hyped about the new generation or the next generation that is coming out in this holiday season. Hopefully, assuming it's not going to get delayed, which it totally might. But ignoring that fact, we got a pretty big announcement from PlayStation literally 2 days ago, and I wanted to talk about it, how it pertains to 2K and the next generation of 2K. So, it is a PlayStation 5 controller. Here's a picture of it right now. I like it a lot. I was kind of like, ugh, and I'll give you my reason why I'm kind of 50-50 about it, but just looking at it, I like it. I like the design. They kept the core PlayStation aspects of it. Sure, most people like the analog sticks, actually how I have it on my Astro controller, the left stick on the top instead of the bottom, but that's PlayStation's signature thing, and I don't hate it that much. It's like, it's fine. It's not as comfortable, but it still works. They kept the touchpad, which is like, okay. But besides that, it's the PlayStation controller, a controller I don't even hate, so I'm glad they made it improved a little bit. They kind of changed the body design of it more until the Xbox controller, which, let's be real, are we really going to complain about that? Nope. Not really. So, I like it. It looks cool to me. The only reason I don't like it is because it's white.
That's racist.
That's not being racist. I'm just saying that it's white, and my hands get dirty really fast, and they sweat, and that's not going to hold up on that controller long. So I'll probably look for some kind of like black version of the controller, or like a blue one or a red one or whatever. But that being said, I still like how it looks, and I want to talk about the 5 things that they're adding to this controller that can pertain to 2K, hopefully, in the next generation, how it could change little things. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, this is just a discussion video. This isn't that important of a video. Don't expect me to go into hard facts and big changes. These things that I think that they can do with this controller, with the things that they announced, that's what I'm going to cover. Before this video starts, if you're one of the 57% of viewers who watch these videos and is not subscribed, don't be lame, be an OG, join the Pack Nation, and do so. Now, I'm going to start off with number 5, which is probably the most, the least important one, and that is the light. Now, before you had the light on, actually, if I can even find the controller, before the light bar was on the back of the controller, and I mean, no one cared about this. Like, you literally didn't see it, so it was useless. Now, the light's on the front of the controller. Now, it's next to the touchpad, which, by the way, no one's gonna touch. I guess you can. I mean, for 2K, we use it for timeouts, and I think to look at the scoreboard, and that's it. That's really it. I don't know what else we use it for. That's not gonna change much. I think you can actually change plays with the touchpad. From my understanding, you can, but that doesn't matter. The light on the side of the touchpad, you can now see it. Now, at first I thought this was useless and like, who cares? There is 2 lights. There's a white light, I guess it's one to tell you that it's on, and then there's a blue light which tell you which controller you have. I'm assuming that's like the play they're doing. So I had a couple ideas for this, but this is definitely this is the least interesting thing about this controller. So first things first, mixing up controllers won't be a problem. If, let's say, you're playing with your friend and you're like, which is controller 1? Now you probably won't have that problem, because now you're going to see it in your face. You're red or you're blue, which means you're 1 or you're 2, and simple as that. Another thing is battery life. Before, if you wanted to check battery life, you had to go to the UI of PlayStation, which takes half a year to load up, and then check your battery life, and it could tell you. Now it's gonna have like a blue light, and hopefully what I'm assuming they're gonna do is dim the light the more your battery starts to die out. If you're basically your light's like black, that means you're about to run out of battery, or like the light on the bottom flashes or something. So there's a couple things they can do there. But at the end of the day, I don't see much that the light can do. Maybe it changes with which team you're using. That'd be kind of sick, actually. But that's stuff that they could have done now. But still, that's why I'm having this one at number like 5, because it's like the least important. At number 4 is a built-in microphone that they've added into the controller. So now they have straight up a microphone in the controller. So people that don't have headsets, now they're gonna be able to talk. This is a good thing and a bad thing. I'll give you the positive first, but then there's a lot of negatives I want to come out with this one. So it's interesting to me because, first of all, people who can't afford a headset can just turn on the TV, hear people, and then they can have the microphone in the controller and expect lobbies to be full of people talking. This is going to be the most communicative, I guess, generation ever. Probably more than Xbox 360s was, like, seriously. I'm sure you can mute it, but the microphone, if it has a Siri system, which like how iPhones have, it would be cool to be able to use that, right? Like, instead of saying, hey Siri, right? You could say like, hey PlayStation or something, and it'll pop up and you can be like, start 2K. Way easier. You can already do that with the PlayStation Home thing, but that's with a headset. Now you can probably do that with a controller. You can say start 2K, or you could say directly start me into my career, start me into the park. Other things like that. Also, if you want to change builds, maybe you can say, hey 2K, and then you can switch your builds. If it has a Siri system, I think that could work really, really smart. I'm not doubting that they could do that, or they might do that, because that'd be really smart to me. You could call timeout. You could go, hey, timeout. If you don't have if you can't do it, you can just do it with your voice, for example. So commands, things like that, you can add maybe That's a big stretch though, because I mean, that's not, that is more of assuming more than anything. There's no confirmation that that could be even a thing. But here's the negatives about this. It's gonna make the game even more toxic. Have you ever gotten to game chat in 2K? Oh my gosh, it's just.
Oh my god!
Keep on blurting him,
Get blocked, loser!
Where you going?
Why? You have a screen!
Trash talk and yelling. It's only gonna get worse now. It's gonna get worse because not only are people gonna be talking like more often, because now you're gonna have a mic in your face all the time. You're gonna say something annoying. It's gonna have people who have babies crying in the background, dogs barking, people listening to music. We're gonna have to hear that. I know we can manually mute, but do we have to do that every single time we get into a game? Like, oh, this is gonna be, that's gonna be annoying. So that's one negative so far in this list that I'm not a fan of. And then awkward conversations too, of just saying something that you're not like, you know, saying something under your breath about somebody, and then all of a sudden they're like, what did you say about me? And you're like, oh man. So there's gonna be things like that's gonna happen. We'll have to see about that in the future. At number 3, it is haptic feedback in the controller. So this one is, in my opinion, the most interesting one because it is special vibrations in the controller now. Your controller vibrates now, right? It does one strong vibration. Now it's gonna have a mix of vibrations. It's not only gonna vibrate all throughout, it can vibrate on the left side, on the right side, in the back, on the buttons, in the triggers, everywhere. It's gonna vibrate everywhere. It can be a little baby vibrate, it can be waves of vibrations, it can be a strong vibration. They're going to mix that up so many ways, and I think that could be a lot of cool things they could do with the game. For example, the shot clock. How many times have you played 2K and you're like, yo, the shot clock, I missed it. I didn't know it was like going off. I didn't, either you weren't hearing or you weren't paying attention. They could do a little vibration of, and that means, hey, the shot clock's running out and it's time to shoot. That would be really cool to have that for real, because people forget that all the time, I feel, in the game. Another one I thought about is a slight vibration, which means, hey, you're not open. So if let's say you're playing and you want to shoot it and then your controls have to vibrate, and that's like, hey, you're not open, don't shoot that. I like that a lot. That'd be cool. Every time you dribble, maybe it makes like a little push on the back of your fingers, maybe something like that. And maybe even if you get hit by a screen or lit up by a screen or postering somebody or getting postered, it's just like a hard vibration. They could do little cool things like that, in my opinion. It's just to make you more immersed into the game. I know some people might get annoyed with the vibration, so you could turn it off. But I think I like when my controller shakes and it makes me feel like I'm in the game, and that would be really cool to me. At number 2, it is adaptive triggers onto the controller. Basically, let's say you're playing a shooting game and you're aiming down a bow. Your bow is going to get tighter and tighter and tighter the more you pull back, which means the trigger is going to get tighter and tighter and tighter the more you pull back. Now, this is only for the triggers, and in 2K, the only reason we use triggers is for running, defense, posting up, and that's it. So when it comes to running, maybe the more tired you get, the more it kind of like restricts your trigger, and it lets you know, hey, you're getting fatigued. Maybe with post-up defense, every time you push into someone, it like jumps the trigger. Again, these are things that make you like more immersed into the game. And then defense, I guess if you're about to play bad defense, it'll lighten up. If you're playing hard defense, it'll tighten up. Things like that. It's little things like that they could change to make it more fun for the player. That's just an idea though. There's no guarantee there or anything, but they're gonna have to do something with the haptic feedback, and they're gonna have to do something with the adaptive triggers. So that's what they could be doing, and maybe even cooler things. Finally, at number 1, this is the most interesting one, and the one we don't know much about, the create button. So we used to have the share button, which was right up here, the top left, little button here. It's just share. You had a clip, you had a screenshot, you could put on Twitter, YouTube, whatever you wanted. Especially for content creators, this was awesome. If it wasn't for the share button, I would have never been able to make this channel. I mean, that was like, I was able to get footage right off my screen, right off my PlayStation with the share button. I would save 15 minutes of my recording and I would upload it to a USB drive, and that's how I got my footage back then. I didn't have an Elgato. So that's how I used to do things. If that never happened, I would have never had a channel when you think about it. But now we have a create button. Now, I'm not sure what this one is going to be. I'm sure it's going to have similar properties to the share button, but they did make it seem like this is a very different thing. I'm not exactly sure what they're going to want to do here. I'm sure they could be really cool things. Again, maybe you can make a video right then and there. Maybe you can add things onto your screen, and maybe there's gonna be like a special app for 2K specifically, so when you press the create button, you can do fun things right there about 2K, your highlights, your clips. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work, and it's definitely going to be something different, and I'm sure it's going to be adapted to 2K, just like the share button was for the PS4 and 2K, how people were uploading their clips, I mean a bunch of clips on YouTube because of it. Now they're going to be able to do even more things with this create button, and hopefully we get more information about that really soon. But what do you guys think about this controller? Do you guys have any ideas? What do you guys think about it? Do you like it? Leave it in the comments below, and if you like this channel, give it a sub, and I'll see you guys next time.